Hi, Bob Paskins here, sales consultant and creator of the Growth Matrix, where we elevate salespeople and sales processes to achieve desired growth. In this Sales Tip Tuesday, we are going to discuss the key measurable factor. This can be found in the tracking component of the Growth Matrix. I frequently get asked, what is the best metric that will lead to my sales goals? Is it the number of sales connections made? The number of appointments? The number of proposals generated? The size of the accounts? The truth is, there is no one true path or metric to follow that will lead to sales success. That is because each salesperson is unique. Each person has their own distinctive selling styles that guide them through their sales process. What needs to be determined is what I call the key measurable factor. The key measurable factor channels the entire sales process down to one distinct metric that, if followed, will lead the individual salesperson to achieve their goals. Key measurable factors are different for each person, even salespeople within the same company. The goal is to locate and unlock that one metric, because once discovered, typically the rest of the sales process flows smoothly. I'll give you a real-life example. I was working with one company that had 3 salespeople. The first one, Mark, was very good with larger clients. He had a knack of building relationships with them. However, larger clients were harder to locate. What Mark discovered was his key measurable factor came down to making sure the size of the deal was over $15,000. If it was over $15,000, Mark knew he had an 80% chance of closing the business and getting enough customers to hit his sales goals. Well, Mary was just as good as Mark. However, for Mary, we discovered her key motivational factor was earlier in the sales process. Mary needed to hit 10 appointments per week. Should she hit that number of appointments, her final presentation ratio and closing ratio were consistent enough that she would hit her sales goals. Julian's strengths were different. Julian loved meeting new people. He can easily strike up a good conversation and build rapport with a potential buyer. Sometimes the prospect would bite, leading Julian to set up an appointment. Often they wouldn't, but that didn't bother Julian as he was already on to the next opportunity. For Julian, he needed to have 50 conversations with buyers each week. If he did that, the rest of the sales process would flow smoothly and he would hit his sales goals. 3 unique people with 3 different sales styles working within the same company. All 3 were successful. Why? They discovered their unique key measurable factor and made sure they hit that number. Now imagine if the owner or sales manager stated that progress would only be measured by the number of appointments made each week. With my real life example above, only 1 of the 3 salespeople would have hit that metric, while probably the other 2 wouldn't make it. What a missed opportunity that would be for that business to have 2 very capable salespeople, who are hard to find, mind you, walk out the door due to a company not understanding their salespeople's individual key measurable factor. So here's a sales tip. For salespeople, find your key measurable factor. Or if you're a sales manager, locate the key measurable factor for each salesperson on your team. Discovering that metric will allow your salespeople to hit their goals and thrive. If you or your company would like more information on my sales consulting services, would like more information on discovering the key measurable factors, or would like a free 30-minute consultation, feel free to reach out to me through my website at bobpaskins.com. Thanks for watching.